Else I wanted to say about the plantation. Something really bothers me. We've got people who are putting incredible amounts of time, energy, and thought into not solving any problems, but just finding creative ways to hide the problems, to distract from the problems, to deceive people as they continue destroying. And that is this. We've got these assorted excuses and hiding places that people will bring to men who decide to go their own way. We've all heard them. All women aren't like that. And if you're able to answer, they'll say, well, you just need to find the right one. I want to camp out on that for just a second. Let's go back to the plantation analogy, which I believe still hasn't exhausted its beauty. I think there's a whole lot more to be mined there. How many people have said slavery is not the problem? You don't need to abolish slavery. It's not evil, it's good. You just need to find the right master. How many people would want to bring slavery back if anyone of any race, of any race, how many people, let's talk about men. How many men, if women only were allowed to be the slave master, and every man was subject to be forced into slavery? How many men would be okay with that? None, because we're thinkers. Now let's flip it around. How many women, if men only were allowed to own slaves, every man of every race, of every background, and only women were slaves, and it were very, very difficult for women to become free? How many would say, well, slavery is not the problem, you just need to find the right master? They're not all like that, which would be true. There were some masters back in the day of slavery that were kinder than other masters, who didn't whip as much, who didn't tie people to trees and whip their back until their back looked like a Chinese puzzle or a Chinese maze. There were masters who were better about that than others, who didn't starve their slaves as much, who clothed them better, who gave them more time off. That's true. And they were still slaves, and they still had no rights, and they still had no freedoms, and everywhere they went they were known as the N-word or some other pejorative. No matter what you say about the right woman, you're still talking about a plantation. You're still talking about something that no thinking man should want anything to do with. The plantation is broken, and it needs to stay broken. And no thinking man needs to go back to the plantation. Period. Let me know what you think, man. This is Hot Ice.